"Daddy, where's my present?" asked 7-year-old Emma, her eyes sparkling with excitement. David froze. He was standing in the middle of the living room, surrounded by rainbow balloons, a beautiful butterfly cake on the table, and 12 kids waiting for the gift opening ceremony. His mind went completely blank. He had completely forgotten his own daughter's birthday present. I, David stammered, watching his daughter's smile begin to fade. David worked as a project manager at a construction company. For the past 5 months, the company had been struggling with major budget cuts and impossible deadlines. 12-hour workdays had become the norm, along with weekend emergency calls and constant threats of layoffs. He left home at 5:30 a.m. and rarely returned before midnight, too exhausted to have meaningful conversations with Emma. Weekends were spent catching up on project reports, answering urgent emails, and desperately trying to keep his job. His wife Sarah had passed away 18 months earlier from breast cancer. Since then, David had been raising Emma alone, and the overwhelming pressure of being both father and provider was slowly breaking him down. That Saturday morning, David had woken up at dawn to transform their house into a party wonderland. Streamers, party favors, cupcakes, everything was perfect for Emma's 7th birthday celebration. But in his exhaustion and stress, he had forgotten the one thing that mattered most to Emma: her gift. The other children had already presented their gifts: art supplies, board games, stuffed animals, all wrapped in colorful paper with elaborate bows. Emma had opened each one with genuine joy, but David knew she was eagerly waiting for Daddy's special surprise. "Daddy?" Emma asked again, this time with a hint of concern in her small voice. David felt the ground disappear beneath his feet. All the other parents at the party were watching expectantly. He was the host, the birthday girl's father, and he didn't have a single gift for his own daughter. "Emma, sweetie, Daddy," David began to mumble an apology, feeling the words stick in his throat. That's when Emma did something completely unexpected. Emma walked over to her father and took his trembling hands. "Daddy, I have a really special present for you." David looked confused. "What do you mean you have a present for me? Today is your birthday, Princess." "I know, Daddy, but I have something very important to give you." Emma ran to her bedroom and returned with a small box wrapped in newspaper comics. The wrapping was crumpled, tape was coming loose, clearly wrapped by inexperienced little hands. "Open it, Daddy." David, still completely bewildered, carefully unwrapped the box. Inside was a small handmade notebook, created from lined school paper and stapled together with a cover decorated in crayon drawings. "What is this, sweetheart?" "It's a diary, Daddy. I wrote about all the nights you came home really, really late from work." David opened the notebook and began reading. On the first page, in the shaky handwriting of a 7-year-old, it said, "February 15th. Daddy came home after I brushed my teeth. I waited up for him, but he looked super tired. He gave me a quick hug and said we'd play tomorrow." David felt a sharp pain in his chest. He turned to the next page. "February 25th. Daddy missed my school play practice. I was the flower in the garden. I kept looking for him in the audience, but he wasn't there. Mrs. Johnson said he must have had something really important to do." Tears began to blur David's vision. He continued reading. "March 8th. Daddy fell asleep at the kitchen table again. I put my blankie over him. He had dark circles under his eyes." David kept turning pages, and each entry was like a dagger to his heart. "March 18th. Daddy forgot about parent-teacher conferences. My teacher asked where he was. I told her he was working hard so we could have nice things. April 2nd. I heard Daddy crying in the bathroom when he thought I was sleeping. I wanted to hug him, but I didn't know if I should. April 20th. I asked Daddy if Mommy could see us from heaven. He got really sad and went to his room. I think I said something wrong. Everyone at the party had fallen silent, sensing that something deeply emotional was happening. David couldn't stop the tears from flowing. David reached the final page of the notebook. Written in more careful handwriting, as if Emma had taken extra time to write it, it said, "My birthday. Daddy forgot my present, but I'm not mad at all. I know he's been really sad since Mommy went to heaven. I know he works really hard to take care of me. I know he loves me even when he's tired. My present to Daddy is this diary, so he knows I understand everything, and so that he knows that all I want is for him to be happy again." David completely broke down. He dropped to his knees on the living room floor, pulled Emma into the tightest hug he could manage, and cried harder than he had since Sarah's funeral. "I'm so sorry, Princess. I'm so sorry for being such a terrible father." Emma gently touched her father's face. "You're not a terrible father, Daddy. You're the best daddy in the whole world. You're just really sad, but I'm going to help you be happy again." In that moment, David realized what he had become. In his desperate attempt to provide financial security for Emma, he had lost the only thing that truly mattered: being present in his daughter's life. "Emma," David said, still on his knees, "do you know what your birthday present is going to be?" "What, Daddy?" "Your present is that starting right now, Daddy is going to be here with you. Really here. Not just physically, but with my whole heart." David pulled out his phone and did something he never thought he would do. He called his boss right in front of all the party guests. "Hey, Mr. Peterson, it's David. I'm calling to let you know I won't be working weekends anymore, and I'll be leaving every day at 5 p.m. sharp. If that's a problem, you can fire me. I have a daughter who needs me more than any construction project ever will." He hung up the phone and looked at Emma. "There you go, Princess. That's your birthday present." David kept his promise completely. The following Monday, he started leaving work at exactly 5 p.m. When his supervisor complained, David was crystal clear. "My daughter is more important than any project deadline." 3 weeks later, David was fired. But instead of panic, he felt relief. Using his savings, David started a small handyman business operating out of their garage. Emma would help him after school, organizing his tools and chatting with neighbors who brought their repair jobs. The business didn't generate the same income as his corporate job, but it provided something infinitely more valuable: quality time with his daughter. 1 year later, on Emma's 8th birthday, David had planned an even bigger celebration. But this time, he didn't forget the present. Actually, he had prepared 2 gifts. The first was the art easel Emma had been wanting for months. The second was a notebook identical to the one she had given him, but completely blank. "This is for you to write about all the wonderful moments we're going to share together from now on," David told her. Emma hugged her father tightly. "Daddy, do you know what the best present was last year?" "The dollhouse that Grandma gave you?" "No, Daddy, it was seeing you smile again." Today, David's handyman business is thriving in their neighborhood, but his real success is at home, where father and daughter have dinner together every night, where David helps Emma with her homework, where they watch cartoons together on Sunday mornings. Emma still has that notebook she gave to her father, but now she writes completely different things. "Daddy picked me up from school and we got ice cream. We built a fort in the living room and told scary stories. Daddy laughed so hard at my silly joke that milk came out of his nose." And David learned the most important lesson of his life, that no job, no deadline, no amount of money is worth more than the time we spend with the people we love most. This story hits me hard because it shows how sometimes we lose the most important things in life while chasing what we think is important.
David almost missed his daughter's entire childhood thinking he was being a good father. If this story touched you, it's because you understand that the best gifts in life don't come wrapped in paper. Hit like if this moved you, and tell me in the comments, have you ever had to choose between work and family? How did you handle it? Don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep hearing stories that remind us what really matters in life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.